Welcome, Grognards. It's Sam here. I am back from a fun-filled day at AdeptiCon. It was a super, super swell time. We went up, Larry and I, from the store and spent the day hanging out, talking to folks, seeing what we could see, especially if there's anything we wanted to bring into the store that we didn't already have. Also, hanging out with some super cool folks, including Rob, the Honest Wargamer, and Louise from Rogue Hobbies, as well as Tom, who's the sculptor for Rascal Town. He seems to be the corraller, if you will. And Tom's been lovely to work with. He's the one that I have corresponded with since we brought Rascal Town into the store. We are still currently the only retail location in the United States that you can purchase Rascal Town miniatures. So if that's something you're interested, head over to our website. We do have them in stock. And of course, this is dropping on the Thursday of Adepticon. And if you place your order, if you're seeing this from Milwaukee right now, you're at Adepticon, or you will be on your way to Adepticon and you are not in the Chicagoland area. If you place your order and you want to pick it up at Adepticon, just let us know and we will make that happen. We could probably do that on Saturday, if not tomorrow, Friday. So this will be going out late Thursday night. If you see it and you want to place your order, say you want to pick it up at Adepticon, and I will bring it to you. So yeah, that'll be fun because they sold out in 45 minutes at Adepticon and they don't have any more. So unless somebody has a 3D printer in the area and wants to print off, a few dozen for them, the only way to get them currently is from Grognard Games. So we are thrilled to be able to offer that. We are thrilled to be able to have that in store. I'm a huge fan. It was kind of a passion project of mine. That's why we brought them in the store. So getting to actually meet Louise in person today, chat with Tom in person, chat with Rob in person was a thrill. And, I'm a fan of theirs, even more so. They're great human beings. And so it was just a pleasure to be able to kind of talk about not only Rascal Town miniatures, of course, but just community, game stores, gaming in general. It was a really lovely conversation, and I'm very grateful that they were able to take the time out of their busy schedule to hang out with us for a bit. It was very, very fruitful conversation, and I have a feeling that you will be seeing more of that collaboration in the future. Certainly, there will be some more Rascal Town minis down the road, including one that was just recently previewed. We will certainly be stocking that in the store as soon as we can. When I say previewed, it was really more hinted at. It was just like a picture of a piece of the mini, so we don't even know what the full mini is yet, but I'm sure it's going to be cool. And Rob and Tom also hinted at some things that they are working on as well. So stay tuned. We always look forward to collaborating, working with other creative, wonderful people, and they certainly fit that bill. So thank you again for hanging out. Speaking of creative, wonderful people, Wholesome Creations had a booth at Adepticon, and I was able to snag some really cool stuff from them, including this beautiful baby dragon print. I don't know if you can tell, it's all glittery and gorgeous. So this is certainly something that I'm going to put in a frame, put in my daughter's room. She loves stuff like this. She thought it was very pretty, in her words. I also picked up a pack of their stickers. You see the baby dragon there again. So Alsome Creations, yeah, they're all right by me. Also, I'm going to do a little quick unwrapping here. Look at this beautiful little bag. That's the other thing too. It's like when folks kind of go the extra mile and make it all pretty, it certainly gets my attention. And the minis that she had there were a number of them that were really, really lovely. But I knew the ones that I had to pick up, which it was a bit of a chore. Not her fault at all, but the coverage in the hall was pretty atrocious in certain areas. So actually getting PayPal to work was very difficult, which, luckily we got it to work. So it's all good. You get a sticker in the box. You get some really, really cute pieces of sort of background material, stencil stuff that you can use on the mini. Nice little thank you card. Thank you, Alsome Creations. Thank you. She's actually Polish, and I fear that I would not pronounce her name correctly, which is awful, but I will link it in the notes. And here is said baby dragon mini. I'm really looking forward to painting that up. It'll be a lot of fun. It's just a very, very cute little mini in this nice little box. I like nice little boxes that come in nice little bags, as you can tell. So way to go, Alsome Creations. But that's not all. Now, look, I'm going to be completely honest. Awesome Creations is probably not something that we'll carry at the store. Not because, it wouldn't be lovely to have other little hobby projects in the store, like Rascal Town, for instance. But, it's suitably small enough that they probably wouldn't have, any sort of retail thing. So at this point, I'm just kind of unboxing, just showing stuff off just for the heck of it. But this piece was also something that I really, really loved and is directly related to Dragon that I just showed you. This one's a little harder to get into. There might be some editing work here. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this one is... Well, there's a sword. Look at that. It is, believe it or not, because of course it is, another baby dragon. But this baby dragon sits on the arm... No, I'm dropping pieces here. Of this super cool mini. Her name is Rhiannon. Here's some more pieces. As you can see, there's a leg, an arm, the bottom part. Here's the head for Rhiannon. And I've got a torso here. It feels kind of sinister to say that. But anyway, I just really, really loved the mini, and it was something that I wanted to grab. Certainly thinking about painting up for my daughter again. I think it's something that she'll really love. There's also a scepter if you don't want to go with the sword. It was just a really cool mini, and again, the opportunity to kind of just support some of the independent artists is always a lot of fun, and it is a great opportunity to do at AdeptiCon. So that was absolutely something that I wanted to make sure that I did at some point. So that again was Awesome Creations. Loved their booth, and it was a pleasure to again support an artist who I thought had done something that was really cute and wonderful, and something that certainly was right up my alley, and of course my daughter's as well. We'll get to that one in a second. There were a number of other really cool things and cool moments for the day, including hanging out very, very briefly and chatting with the folks from Tooth and Coats. We didn't actually get to talk to Duncan. He was obviously very busy, but we got some really cool stickers. They announced a new Grim Dark line that they are going to be doing, which will be super cool. We will, of course, carry that in the store as soon as it comes out. Doom Death Black is one of the colors here. So we picked up some cool stickers. Baron Von Evil, Undead Overlord. So we picked up some cool stickers, and again got to chat with them for a minute, talk about things like, intriguing stuff like racks and retail space and that sort of stuff. But again, huge fan of Tooth and Coats, big fan of Duncan. Duncan, was literally one of my first painting teachers. That's the truth. Watching his Warhammer videos back in the day were what kind of steered me right. Him and Peachy. And then eventually watching Louise's masterclasses on Warhammer Plus. And now just being such a fan and watching their videos independently of all of that. And Duncan, of course, is still always doing lots of tutorials and painting videos. And Louise and Peachy, I love what they've done, because it feels like they've been able to do something that's much more, varied and certainly personalized. Not that Duncan's videos aren't. Obviously he's an incredible painter. He loves to paint, and seeing his painting is always wonderful and gives me great ideas as well. Moving right along, though, Warlord Games, of course, had a huge booth there. I love the folks at Warlord Games. I've had wonderful conversations with quite a few of them in the past. John Russell, hey, if you're seeing this, Pete, and Isaac, of course, who's our rep. But the folks at Warlord have been busy. Of course, they released a new edition of Bolt Action recently, and then followed up with the Armies of Germany book. And soon we will get the Armies of the US book, which I think that, Bolt Action is in a really wonderful place. It's a fantastic game. If you haven't had a chance to check out the 3rd edition, please do so. Both Grognard Games locations are indeed stocked with Bolt Action. Roselle might have a little bit more, but Batavia has stuff too. Of course, we can always do interstore transfers if anybody wants something, and special orders. So if there's something that you want that we don't have, let us know. We can always special order it from Warlord. But on the horizon for Warlord is something very, very exciting, something that you probably have heard about before. And if you haven't, I am thrilled to be able to share it with you now. And that, of course, is, sorry for the state of my flyer, it's a little bent, Conflict 47, which is coming late 2025. They are, as I record this, they are actually doing a big preview event for it right now at AdeptiCon. Now, as this was described to me, it's just the beginning, so it's going to be full of a lot of hints, a lot of teases. We're not going to actually see a bunch of stuff, see the new models, that sort of stuff, but they're going to be announcing that sort of thing, which is super cool. You can find more on their website about some of these teases, and then they will be rolling things out over the summer with a huge kickoff, I believe, at Games Expo 2025 in June. And actually, you'll get to see some of the new models that they're doing. I can't say too much, but I've heard some really, really cool stuff. If you own any Conflict 47 models, you will be able to use those models in the new edition. Everything will still be valid. There may be some tweaks and changes here and there. Updated models might come for some pieces, but really what they want is they want you to be able to use what you've got, to get it on the table, and then they want to add new stuff to your arsenal so that you'll be able to add new pieces, you'll be able to add new models, and just create this this vibrant ecosystem. In fact, one of the things that was said to me, the way it was described is they want, bolt action here, and they want conflict 47 here, and everything else, is kind of below that as far as the Warlord games ecosystem goes. And that's not a knock to like, Pike and Shot or any of the other games that they produce. It's just the idea that, bolt action is clearly the top for them, but they see conflict 47 sitting parallel to that. And I think that that's incredible. It seems to me a wonderful gateway. If folks are coming from 40K or they're coming from other games, conflict 47 is sort of that perfect bridge into perhaps doing a World War II historical game. If you're not so sure that you want to do that right off the bat, because you've got mechs, you've got, Tesla coil tanks, you've got like all of this, you've got soldiers with jetpacks, really, really cool diesel punk kind of aesthetic. It's just a fantastic game. And in a way, if you wanted to, you could literally run like a bolt action campaign and go directly into conflict 47. They could exist in the same world if you like. One thing is for certain is that while the rules may be based on Bolt Action 3rd Edition, it is not going to be Bolt Action 3rd Edition with this diesel punk skin. It is going to feel unique. Each unit is going to operate in a unique way. So it just sounds fantastic, and I can't wait to see more. So Warlord Games, check it out. If you're going to be at AdeptiCon the rest of this weekend, go by their booth. They have this lovely table set up. I'll try and drop some footage of it in right now, actually. It's just amazing. So be sure to check that out. Now let's move on to something else here that I picked up. Again, we're always looking for things that we might want to carry in the store, right? Things that might fill a niche that we don't already have filled, or expand upon one that we already have some stuff. So something that myself and Larry picked up, and of course, I'm going to show you this. There's no guarantee that we're going to carry it in store. This is not me saying like, look what's coming. This is more just saying like, this is something we thought was cool. And this is something that, we wanted to pick up and see how it was. And then perhaps, go from there. And that is Ember Obsidian Protocol. And this is by Ignition Core Games. Quady Tectonics is actually responsible for the game, but Ignition Core is kind of distributing it in the US. The thing that's really cool about this is that you get to create your mechs, and in the box, it comes with magnets. They are pre-drilled, so you can actually magnetize and make your army interchangeable right off the bat without having to do any extra work on your own. It's all kind of in the box for you. The game itself, we'll get to do a demo today. The game itself is fun. It plays pretty quickly. There's a really wonderful initiative system in the way that activations occur, off of like a time system. And it was just a lot of fun to kind of go through and see it, do some melee, do some shooting, roll some defensive dice on top of that, and get an idea of the flow of the game. There's also a tactical aspect of it, which allows you to kind of, secretly maybe maneuver certain things in a way that allow you maybe a bit of an advantage. You get different stances, and the stances can dictate kind of what your dice may or may not do. There are proprietary dice for the game as well, which you do have to purchase separately. If I was going to say anything at all against them, it might be that, because proprietary dice always kind of, an ask, but certainly something that's not to be unexpected from a lot of game systems. But when said proprietary dice are also an extra buy on top of your starter set or whatnot, and sometimes that's a little like, oh, okay. But that said, it's totally worth it. I just showed you the cavalry box. There's also a core box, which I do have. I thought I had it here on my desk. I don't. I failed. But that said, again, I'm super stoked to kind of run through this game. Maybe, there are the dice, by the way, maybe get, a game going in the store, maybe even run some demos or something like that, and see if the interest is high enough, because certainly I think that it might be something that we want to carry in the store. Might be. No guarantees. We'll see. But again, we might want to. Speaking of Ignition Core, they also had this really fun game. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a fan of anime. You can probably see some stuff. There's like some Naruto Transformers right there. I've got an Usagi Yojimbo up there, which is not really anime, but Avatar's not really anime either. I have this One Piece Nami here, so as well as some One Piece TCGs right here. I'm not saying we're going to carry it in the store, but I'm not saying we're not going to carry it in the store, so keep your eyes peeled. Anyway, this is Magical Girl Assault, and this just looked really cool to me. I really enjoyed the minis quite a bit. Some of them venture into that cheesecakey territory, which is not my thing, but that said, some of them are just really, really cool. I really dig a lot of what they've done here. The sculpts are really cool. The game itself seems like a lot of fun. I didn't get to play the demo, but I was able to watch a little bit of one and chat with the guys afterwards, so it's something that certainly I'm looking forward to. They also gave me these really cool free templates, which are used in the game. So I'm looking forward to giving that a shot. I got the starter set that includes the Sisters of Eris, which are your nuns with guns, as they say, and the Pan Asia starter, which are kind of this interesting fusion of like samurai idols, which again I thought was really, really cool. And then last of all, also from Ignition Core, as they've kind of been resurrecting this game, Relic Knights. I got the Relic Knights starter, which includes the Radiant Cadre, the Void Cadre. It also includes a Radiant deck and a Void deck, 50 cards each. The rules and tokens are completely free to download at ignitioncoregames.com. Same is said of Magical Girl Assault, so feel free to check that out. But I'm not done. I'm not done, because there was another booth that we visited, and I actually threw this up on our Instagram live earlier, and I am super excited to rock my Trench Crusade shirt at some point here in the near future. Trench Crusade is a game that I know a lot of folks are really excited about. We are very excited about it. It has been backed personally by a member of our team, and we're all very much in on that. A Heretic Trooper piece of art there as well. But wait, there's more. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so last year I picked up this game called Giga Robo, which I really, really loved. It's this sort of like anime robots, mecha combat sort of game inspired by, this cross between like Gundam and Evangelion, and, a little bit of, every kind of big mech robot anime that you can think of. Spiritually, a little bit of it lives in that game. I really, really enjoyed it. I ended up buying more of the pieces for it. I had to kind of find them secondhand, because unfortunately some of the expansions that they did have been out of stock for a while. They may be back in stock now, so check out their website. But they're doing a new game, and it's called Grave Trigger. And Grave Trigger looks super cool. It is basically about this like armor, that the way that this armor powers itself is by the life force of the human that is inside of it. And so it gets pretty dark pretty quick. Terrain and the way that you can like actually utilize the terrain to make it come alive or make it explode and that sort of stuff is a big part of the game as well. So it just seems super cool. They are doing a game found for it. They're going to do a retailer level, so again, you never know, you might see that in the store. Got some stickers as well. I love stuff like that. I love the stickers. I'm always game for stickers. Speaking of stickers, let's roll it back real quick. Some Trench Crusade stickers. Check that out. And again, Trench Crusade I think is going to be pretty big, and we are looking forward to carrying whatever we can in the store. Westphalia is going to produce some minis for it, and we're of course been carrying them in the store as well. Slow Death Games, they make a game called Wild in the Streets, which is this really cool kind of like these underground skirmish game, and there are punks, there are heavy metal dudes, there are, there's all sorts of forces. I, of course, again, there's a theme here this year. I went with the cyber goths, and again, super cool models, really dig them, dig the gas masks. Also picked up a couple of the punk models as well. There was a punk guy with a skateboard. You can kind of see him there, and super excited about getting those painted up and maybe getting those on the table. Larry, he knows about the game because of course he does, so we might try and get that going as well. But that'll do it for my AdeptiCon haul. Again, it was a really wonderful day. It was so much fun hanging out. We got to hang out with some regulars from the store that were there as well. So Ryan, Kyle, Sid, Andrew, awesome to see you all, Megan as well. And it was so much fun just kind of walking around, bumping into people. We saw Tony Marivola, who was there doing some painting. We saw a number of people rocking Grognard shirts. Thank you so much. That is awesome. A couple folks rocking Grognard's hats. In fact, Louise, it was so funny when we were chatting with her. She mentioned that she had seen some people in our shirts and thought at first that they were us, right? That it's like, oh, they're in a Grognard shirt, they must work there. But no, we were wearing our black work shirts that you always see us in the store. So anyway, it was just so cool that folks were representing the store in that way. We're thrilled that you would do that. It might just seem like a t-shirt, it might just seem like something that you throw on, but it's a choice, and it means a lot to us, as do all of you. So I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, to hang out with me for a minute and see some of the stuff that I picked up at AdeptiCon. Again, we will explore being there in the future. We'll see what happens down the road. In the meantime, of course, you can shop grognardgames.com or grognardgamesbatavia.com. And if you are still listening to this and you've made it this far and you are interested in Rascal Town minis, again, we are the only only place in the US that you can get them. So if you want to get them and save a little bit on your shipping charge, buy them direct from Grognard Games, and we can ship them anywhere in the continental US. If you spend over $100, shipping is free. Additionally, if you want to pick them up at Adepticon, leave a note. I will get them there either tomorrow, Friday, or Saturday, the 29th. So we would love to be able to provide that service because, again, the folks at Rogue Hobbies and Rob and Tom are just fantastic. We've really enjoyed the relationship that we've been able to kind of form with them, the business relationship that we've been able to form with them. Just cool people in addition. And, between Louise's designs, Tom's sculpting, Rob's printing, like Rascal Town has come to life. It's lovely and I love it. So certainly check it out if that's what you're interested in. And let us know what else you might want to see in the store. If any of the stuff that I showed you right now is something you want to see in the store, let us know. We will certainly think about whether or not it makes sense for us to carry it in the store. And if it does, then you'll see it on our shelves. But yeah, I just want to say again, thanks to everyone, not only for listening to this, to watching this, but also for representing the store up at Adepticon in Milwaukee. It was interesting being there, after being in Schaumburg for so long and doing the hour-and-a-half drive up, being in this new space. It's odd how similar it felt, and yet there were certainly differences as well. But it was a great time. I enjoyed hanging out with everybody, and it was something that I'm wishing I could have been there for the whole weekend. So anyway, in the meantime, Grognards, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, stay safe out there, and remember to always, always roll responsibly.